everybody, it's Llewellyn here, and I am the owner and artist at Worn to Whimsy, and I'm going to be working on this dresser right here, and I'm going to be putting like a cloudy blend, kind of like what I did on the front over on this side, and I'm going to be adding that in all along this side right here. So I actually already finished the rest of it, and I even clear coated it, like it's all ready to go, it's done. The colors that I'm going to be using today are Cotton, Daisy, Peony, Aubergine, and Flamingo. So I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. This piece is pretty much, the rest of it is all finished. So this is just, I saved one last side for you guys. So I'm going to go in, I have my spray bottle. It is a fine mist bottle, and all I have in it is water. So I'm going to start out with that, and I'm just really lightly spraying. I don't want drips. I just wanted the tiniest bit of water on there. And I'm starting in the corner with Cotton. All I had was a little bit of white on there. And then I'm kind of going to bring around what's on the front. I'm going to bring it right around the corner. So I'm going to dip into Flamingo. And I'm going to blend that right into my Cotton. I don't want it to be too light. I want it to kind of match the other side. There we go. Get in that crack. And I blended it right into the Cotton. Add in a little bit of Daisy. And this is my bottom coat, so I want to blend it in real nice. I want it to be a good blend, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll just go over this again really quick tonight and put my top coat over it in the morning, and it will be finished. So, and now I'm just adding the yellow, Daisy, and a little bit of Flamingo. If it starts to get too heavy or too dark, I just go in with a little bit of my Cotton. This is I keep one that I just dip into, and then I keep another white that I keep nice and clean for like if I'm doing a white piece. So otherwise you can pour your white out. That's probably the best way to go. Okay, and this is Flamingo, and I'm just mixing it in with just a hint of Cotton. Just the littlest bit on the end of my brush. So for this side of it, I've got my darker purple colors, and I'm kind of gonna do like a triangular shape, sort of, but not like a perfect shape. I don't want any of it to be perfect. I want it to just be cloudy and pretty. So now I'm gonna get some of my Peony, and it's pink, bright, bright pink. And I'm gonna start blending that in as well. And my dark purple color that I have up here, that's Aubergine. We're gonna get that. We'll get to that in a second here. And I saved this one for this live because it's just so bright and fun. So I just wanted to share this part too. Okay guys, last week I did some of the flowers on the front live. So I'm just going back and forth, and when it gets a little dark or heavy looking, I add that white back in there and do little circular motions as you go along to get it all blended in there. I'm gonna be using two brushes. So I've got one for my darker colors and one for my lighter colors, but I accidentally forgot, and I dipped my brush in the darker colors. That's okay, I'll use the other one for the lighter colors. The darker colors usually hold their own. Hard to get lighter, so this is Aubergine, and I'm gonna blend this in here. I mist it just a little bit to keep it damp. I don't want it running or dripping, so I'm just keeping it slightly wet so that it can blend easier. So for my darker colors, I'm gonna use this brush, and it's gonna be the Peony and the Aubergine. And I switched them up. I mean, I used two brushes. I'm just using the oval medium, but it's because if you get all the colors blended together too much, if you're using yellow and purple, you're gonna get a gray or like a brownish gray color. Sometimes they're really pretty, but it wasn't what I was going for this piece. It was just, I wanted it to be bright and fun. Get that aubergine and peony mixed in there. And when they blend together, they actually make this really pretty, kind of deep pink purple color. And it's a little bit darker. It's that other Plum Crazy. It's a little bit deeper and darker than Plum Crazy. And I really like it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my lighter brush and get these blended together a little bit better. And this is the first coat, so you can always go back and, like, if you think you've done too much of anything, you can come back in and change it out. And I'll just go back and forth between the brushes too. At this point, get a little bit of white in here. And then I've got my darker colors and I'm just blending it right into the lighter colors. Make sure that blend is really good. I'll do a little bit of a circular motion. I might add some pink in here. It's getting a little gray. And if you get too much paint, I just have a little piece of paper I'm wiping it off on over here. So just wipe it off your brush. I tend to use like very little paint on my brush at a time, especially when you're using so many colors together. Now back to my darker brush. Grab that pink again. And I like to get this first coat pretty good, but it does not have to be perfect. If I can reach all the way up there, this thing's tall. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. So I'm gonna go in with the white again. I might mist ever so lightly. And I'm just using water, and I'm just gonna keep moving down with you guys. Slowly, there's gonna be more purple as it heads towards the foot down here is all purpley. So we'll slowly move down there. There we go. So, yes, that is my lighter brush. Sometimes I like use all the colors on one brush and then I have to start over. I'm gonna come over here. That needs to be quite a bit lighter. And the combinations of all the colors on your brush as you go, they make some really pretty colors that just kind of blend as you go along. Maybe a hint lighter, so I'm just dipping it in the white as I go. Blend that pink in a little bit better right there. It got a little bit dark down here, so I'm gonna add in some more of the cotton. Cotton is like just a really basic white. That's what I use. I use it quite a bit. And what I have now on my brush is almost the same color as what's right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this edge. Maybe a little more pink, but that's okay because it flows really, really nicely right over to this side. I'm just getting that corner in there. And slowly moving down. A little bit more white. And back to the dark. So just kind of going back and forth. And that is why I'm using two brushes, because I'm going back and forth so much. Okay, I'm gonna add in a little bit more of this cotton down here. I'm slowly bringing the dark towards this bottom foot down here. I'm gonna move you guys down. Maybe you can see my paint colors. Yeah, sometimes I'll redo a piece a few times. You know, sometimes it's just part of the process if your colors aren't quite where you want them. But I find most of the time, if you're putting down your first coat and you're basically placing the colors, then your second coat, you can just move things slightly if you need to. So I'd say jump in and go for it. This one kind of worried me though, I'll be honest. I wasn't sure where this thing was going. It was one of those troublemaker. A troublemaker that turned out really nice though, so. Okay, and I added a bit of daisy into that cotton, and here is some flamingo. Flamingo is a really bright orange, and when you mix it with the cotton, it just tones it down a little bit. Adding the cotton in there also makes them blend really easily. I'm gonna get some of this orange over in there. Adding that orange color with the peony and the aubergine, it just kind of brightens it up in some spots. So I'm going back and forth between aubergine and the peony, and that kind of got in a line there, so I'm going to kind of work this out a little bit. I have a lot of paint on that brush right now, more than I expected. I started talking and didn't get this bottom part blended as nicely as the top, but that's okay. Sometimes adding these little swirlies in it kind of reactivates the paint a little bit if it's dried slightly. So I'm gonna do that for a second. This is my first coat. I will be doing a second coat, so this kind of a messy blend will definitely disappear. I was thinking, if you guys want to hang around, stick around, I have to do a stencil on the side of the drawers, so I could add that in really quick. And on the drawer sides, I was going to use the new chameleon wax in lilac. I used it on the hardware on this thing. Let me move this. And I was going to use a stencil just on the drawer sides and use my little bell brush. When you open the drawer, sometimes I will use a stencil and some wax. So we also have these new stencils. This is the Morocco one, and we also have the Royal Damask is this pretty one. I'm thinking for this piece, it's funky and bright, so I'll be using the Morocco one. So one thing that I liked about these stencils when I saw them is that they easily fit the length of this drawer over here. So I'm gonna grab my bell brush and then I'm just gonna hold it in place. The wax is lighter, so I don't need it to be like absolutely perfect. And I opened it earlier, but look at them, they're so cute. They come in these little tiny paint looking pots. So this is lilac, and it looks really peachy. It is a chameleon wax, so it will change once you put it on. I actually already used it over here on the hardware, and it turned out really pretty. It made them, just gave them a little bit of a glow to sort of go with the piece better. And I just lined up the top of the stencil right here with the top of my drawer. And I'm just gonna get my little bell brush in here. And then I'm just gonna tap it. And we'll see if it works its way to changing color enough to see it. But you guys, I'm gonna have to use a different color. It matches too much with the wood. Let's putting it out really, really light. Once I rubbed it in on the hardware, it made it really pretty. So I'm assuming once you rub it and make it really thin, but it's just blending right in with that wood. Hey, you know what? You try it and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but you can see it really lightly. But I kind of wanted a bit more of a statement. So I'm gonna try for the chameleon wax. I'm gonna try it right here in the black. So that was a little bit too light. You could see it, but I wanted it to be more of a statement there. So let's try this. We'll try again. Get that rubbed in nice. I'm gonna do the black right over the top. Yeah, you can see that much better. I might have to wait for that area to dry to get it to really go in or stick well. So I did the chameleon wax right there. I'm just rubbing it in with my bell brush. And you can dab it. Yes, I like this better. Try again. And I've used these on my drawer sides before. You can do a better job and paint it. Actually, when I blended it with the other one, it turned a really pretty gray purple color, so. I always use two. And these are an oil-based wax. So they dry. I think you buff them after, let me make sure, I think it was 12 hours. Yep, lightly buff after 12 hours to produce a beautiful gilded finish. I think I'll let it dry and then come back, but that purple was just, it was just a little bit too light, but let me see. So if you rub it though, yeah, it's hard to see with these lights too. It's like this pink purple color. I know you guys can't see that too well. It's not wanting to show up on camera too well. It looks really pretty in person, so. And yep, that's my drawer side. That is the Moroccan stencil. And I'll go through and basically just take turns and do all of my drawers this way. But, all right, you guys, that is actually it. I want to say thank you all for being here. Thanks for coming to hang out with me tonight in my garage. And I am live Wednesdays on my own page at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, you guys have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.